you'll know how successful you are by how successful your kids are and how happy your kids are.
It's inspiring. Most people, they give up what they value most for money or fame or attention, and you're the direct opposite. And you're also proof that it doesn't matter. You can still win the games.
You can get so successful in life and you can be bogged down with all the stuff. What on this planet is cooler than what you guys have and what we have?
Nothing.
But it takes work and love and understanding and compromise.
We almost live in a culture these days that an enduring love is almost counterculture. There's less and less of a focus on the container and the gift of love and family.
You can look to be served in life.
Yeah.
Or you can look to serve.
Amen.
We serve each other before we serve ourselves.
Yeah.
God first, me second. Family first, me second. Ruvé first, me deep second.
Your father and mother and God have made you the way you're supposed to be. You don't have to compare yourself with others.
All the religions, all the faiths all come down with the same thing. Love each other more than you love yourself.
No matter what somebody's faith looks like, just that people have a way to be that is responsible and awake and aware that we're here to serve something more than ourselves. And that's evident in the two of you.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Yes, I'm not trying to be cool. This is not a new look in me. I just had eye surgery and I have to wear these glasses indoor and outdoors for the next 6 weeks. So I'm all healing fine, nothing to worry about, but I didn't want to miss having a special message here for you, a special podcast here for Father's Day. And when Sage and I were talking about how to do this, we thought about different people that we know or that we've met or we've heard about that are extraordinary, people that live the example of being a great father. You know, anybody can tell you what to do. And of course, kids don't pay attention to that. They pay attention to how we live. And so we finally came across a couple, because it's one thing to put a focus on a father, but there's no father without a great mother as well. And this couple, very much like Sage and I, they're true partners. And they've made more than a dozen films together. And their names are Ruvé and Neal McDonough. Now, when I just say those names, you may not recognize them, but as soon as you see Neal, I'm sure you'll recognize him from Minority Report, from Band of Brothers, from Yellowstone, from Suits, from Tulsa King. And now he's coming out with The Last Rodeo, which is an extraordinary film he'll be sharing with us. But the person who do the interview, because of my eyes and extended period, is of course my partner in life, the most amazing human I know, my Sage Robbins. Please welcome her to the podcast.
Thanks, Tone.
So I'm going to step out. I'm going to let her take over here, and you guys are going to have a great time. And I'll come in at the end again to say hello to the couple here that you're going to meet that are just extraordinary. You'll see they're people that live their values no matter what. And I think the congruency of that is what changes our children's lives as fathers and as mothers. There's nothing more important. So without any further ado, Ruvé and Neal McDonough.
Neal and Ruvé, I've been doing my research and getting prepared for today. And I said to Tony last night, we are truly kindred spirits. I love your love. I love that you guys partner together. And there's just something very familiar. I said to Tony, I could see us all sharing a steak in our backyard. That's literally right. When I was getting ready. And Neal, looking at you, just actually looking at a picture of you, there's something deeply that reminds me of my father. He's, my dad's a maverick kind of a guy. He's so true. He's been sober for over 50 years. Wow. And he's just one of the most solid, principled men I know. Well, I married one.
You married one, that's right, exactly.
I did indeed. And like you, Tony and I have been together for over 25 years, and we've walked through our own fires, and through God's grace, have come to the other side. I'm curious in your own lives, because just love and family and partnership, where did you learn to love like this? Because there's less examples today of enduring love.
Wow. Where do you learn to love
I
like
think
this?
with Neal, it started with his parents. I mean, they instilled so much chivalry into Neal. And that's how I fell in love with Neal, because I can count on my one hand how many young men still practice chivalry. And that's what's sad. And I feel like Neal, he found true love in putting his partner on a pedestal, which came from his mom and his dad, and just all the manners, taking out a chair, not eating until your wife's eaten, not taking her plate away, not going in her purse.
And sometimes I drive Ruvé nuts with chivalry. We'll have a meal and I won't take a bite until Ruvé takes a bite, and then we do together. That's what we're supposed to do.
26 years
and
later,
I'll be
I'm like,
sitting there
just
for
eat your
like
food.
15 minutes as my food is just sitting there. Will you just eat without me? I'm like, no,
says
I
no.
won't. I'm not
So
gonna.
when you say love and love and love, I just feel like it comes from above, right above, and then the parents, and then the children, and then we pass it on to our 5 children. And that's lost in the world these days, just the chivalry of putting yourself second and putting your partner first.
But I think the two of us, we're really good at putting the other person first. It's you can go through life one of two ways. You can look to be served in life, or you can look to serve. We serve each other before we serve ourselves. God first, me second. Family first, me second. Ruvé first, me deep second. And if you live that way,
the love just
exudes. It just comes out of you because you're always here to serve. And isn't that what God wants us to do? I don't care what religion you believe in. I don't care where you're from. All the religions, all the faiths, all come down with the same thing. Love each other more than you love yourself. And great things will happen. You'll have a fantastic life and you'll be honoring God in everything you do. And if you can live like that, it's not easy. But when you have a partner that you're willing to do it for and with, and then have that transcend to your children, to your workforce, to everything else. That's what life's supposed to be about, and we're blessed that we
So
got
when
that
Sage
gift.
says, how did you learn how to love, right?
I think we just
and I was like, I think your parents taught you how to love, and God taught you how to love.
Yeah, God, yeah, for sure. It's from us. It's,
and the more
it's
you give, the more you get.
Yeah, you guys are the same. You guys are exactly the same. You guys put each other first before yourselves, and look what has transpired in 26 years that you guys have been together.
It's so
smokes.
true. It's true, Neal. It's interesting. I was blessed as well with 2 parents that adore one another and love one another and look out for one another and stand for one another and always put one another first. I come from a family of 5 children as well. And God, goodness, servitude, family, and community, truthfully, it extends. My parents, as I mentioned, my daddy's in AA, and, my parents fostered people, and, we always had strangers coming in and out of our home, but it really expanded certainly my concept of what love looks like. Neal, I'm curious. I was reading that you were a drinker. Sounds like not your whole life, but a big portion of your life.
An Irishman.
And
That's right. Yeah, it's in the blood.
And through challenging, through some losses and devastating, almost like your dark night of the soul, it became more of a problem. And Ruvé, there's one. Return or cyclical pattern when I was just getting to know the two of you is how your silent strength continues to show up for one another. I'm curious how that shifted in your life and how when alcohol became so centric, what happened on the other side of that or what caused you to stop?
Well, what caused me to stop were the simple words when Ruvé said, "That's enough," and man up. It was, I went through a dark time, as everyone knows about it, and the only thing that I could think of doing at the time to get away from it all was to bury myself in alcohol. So everywhere I went, I was just trying to erase thinking. Because I didn't want to think about it, how I let Ruvé down, how I let the kids down, how I let God down, how I let my family down, how I let everyone down because, I wasn't making money for the family anymore. Everything was just shut down. And what was I going to do? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. So I just started drinking myself silly. And, Ruvé basically, it was literally one day said, it's the bottle or us. What are you going to do? But because I can't have this anymore. This just isn't going to work the way it is. And from that second on, I just stopped. And I've never gone to meetings. It's not that I'm against them. Whatever it takes for you to stop doing it, you got to go for it. For me, I had 2 great things in my corner. I had Ruvé holding my hand. I always say I can go through life with one hand tied behind my back as long as the other hand is being held by Ruvé.
That's beautiful.
That was my line.
That's right. And that's right.
Oh, you two are adorable.
He can share it.
And secondly was my faith in God. And I drifted from that. And Ruvé said, go back to church. Go back to St. Brennan's Church in Hancock Park. And I would go there every single day and just sob, talk, laugh, we'll start to laugh again after a while. And then
with the janitor, because he was there before the church opened, and he was there when the church closed. The janitor and Neal hung out a lot.
Good morning, Mr. Neal. Good morning, Luis.
Wow.
And it was, if it weren't for Ruvé, I literally don't know where I'd be, because we've built so much together, but we've been through difficulties together, and that's what makes it all that. Through the crucifixion comes the glory, and we got crucified for a while, and now we're in the position where we're about to produce our 13th and 14th film together.
Wow! Congratulations!
In the last 5 years, and that doesn't happen. And generally in Hollywood, they don't want anyone to be anything but one thing. You're an actor. Well, no. Well, now I'm an actor, and with Ruvé, I'm a producer and a writer and a filmmaker, and we started our own company. And how did all that happen? Well, it started with me putting the bottle down and realizing how blessed I was to have what I had. 5 kids, the family that I have. And once I started not trying to compete with others and trying to impress others, the only person I was trying to impress on this planet was my wife. And, overall was to impress God. Do the things that he wants you to do. And if you do that, you'll be given rewards like you have. I have been given rewards, Sage. I have no idea how we have gotten so much in the last several years, and traveled all over the world and met incredible people and tried amazing foods or seen incredible things, but also seen hardships and how we can help with hardships, how we can give back to we want to talk about hardships.
Wait. Okay. I still want to talk about The Dark Knight. We'll get back there.
Okay, cool.
At some point, we're going to get into this, and I want to hear more about what you and Tony are doing with this, because talk about giving back. We'll get there in a sec. We'll leave that here for a reminder. We're going to get back to this.
100 billion meals. So back to The Dark Knight quickly with Neal. I don't want all the credit. And when people say Ruvé saved Neal, Ruvé was there, Ruvé said, Neal gave me an incredible 26 years. So for the first 14 years, we had 5 kids, and we would go to Hollywood parties. We'd hang out with the likes of,
Right.
We enjoyed our life. It was good. It was wonderful. We had nannies to help us with the kids, and Neal treated me amazing, and our relationship was wonderful. And then when that one thing happened and Neal got fired from the show, I saw this man that I'd known for 14 years crumble. He was lost. He was confused. He didn't know what to do. And so I knew the man he was. I knew the man he could be. So it's not all about me. I just shone the light on him, and I said, hey, stop. Stop this. Stop the devil. Stop the bottle. Stop now. You know who you are. You know who you want to be. And look up. And he did.
It's beautiful, and it's refreshing. We almost live in a culture these days that an enduring love is almost counterculture. Mm-hmm. There's less and less of a focus on the container and the gift of love and family, and no matter what somebody's faith looks like, no matter whether it's whatever it looks like, just that people have a way to be that is responsible, mm-hmm. and also awake and aware that we're here to serve something more than ourselves, and that's mm-hmm. evident in the two of you. I'm curious, Ruvé, I also love that you give a nod to your husband as the shine comes upon you. Mm-hmm. You guys remind me of Tony and I, because, you kind of hit a point after 25 years. And I think that's what, for those people that are listening right now and going through a challenging time in their relationship, I always say sometimes we quit too soon,
Yes.
in love, because
Yes.
if you just... there's rites of passages, and just almost like the first 10 years compares to the second 10 years, and then where we are right now, and I'm sure we're similar, that there's some predictable patterns, and life has its way with all of us. And I just love that you've used pain to renew you. You've used the pain and the hardships to come together closer in your relationship, and also in God. It's so refreshing.
Sage, when I hear people say, oh, we're getting divorced, I'm like, no. This is part of the plan. Okay, so now you've hit rock bottom. Now we have to rise. And though it's too late. And Neal and I have said often we'd love to do marriage counseling and just talk to people about it's part of the journey. it's not going to be all roses and green, fresh cut grass every day. You're going to have a lot of this, and you got to get through that.
There's a lady. I grew up in a motel in Hyannis, Massachusetts, a small little mom and pop motel, the Rainbow Motel,
Which is parents owned.
The parents owned. It was awesome. But one of the ladies who stayed there was, I think it was Emma Birnbeck. I think that was her name. She wrote a book, and I've never actually read the book, but the title just always makes so much sense. And it was, "The grass is always greener around the septic tank." And you might think that that's all greener over there. There are other things that are much nicer, but there's so much junk and so much bad things that can happen around that septic tank. That if you can figure out how to make it work at home, because relationships take work. You got to work hard at it. You got to put that first before yourself. And when you do that, great things happen. If you put yourself first, it's going to fall apart every time. And I can't imagine what the divorce rate is now, especially in Hollywood.
Sad.
It's probably 70, 80%. That's awful. And I think that people have veered away from faith. People have veered a lot more towards money. That's the most important thing. What's my new car? What's my new widget? What's my new fancy thing that I can show off? And we used to live like that too until everything started to happen. And then you reevaluate. What's really important?
Us. We were just in France, and I don't want to veer away from your questions, but we took
No,
one of our
please.
daughters
Oh, we're
to the
very good at
F1
veering
and Grand
away.
Prix, and we had the best time, and it was her dream anyway, so we treated her to that. Well, we were treated. People gifted us with this wonderful trip, and when we got back, we were with our other 3 kids 24/7. They're on summer vacation, and I saw Neal and I getting like, just with each other. And I said, we're going to check into a hotel tonight, and we're going to have room service, and we're going to watch a movie, and we're just going to go play pickleball. And this was yesterday, so thank goodness this didn't happen yet after we were supposed to do something.
we
were
might have been
supposed to do something
we might have been a little
yesterday.
more crispy yesterday.
Yeah, we would have been crispy. So I promise you. So we
Relationships,
checked
whatever.
into-
Next question.
Yeah. So it was like, so
Yeah.
this is God's work. Checked into a hotel last night,
That
had
was-
dinner, candlelight, night before last.
Divine intervention.
Played pickleball, swam, just hung out and gave time to one another, which we needed because it's been crazy. And we got back and my 12-year-old's like, Mom, you and Dad should do that more often. I'm like, yeah, because you can just see the difference.
Right.
So life is about assessing and acting
And date night.
and
It's all
date
about date night.
nights
You gotta date
and
night.
making it work, right?
important.
There's going to be thorns always in business, in love, in parenthood, in marriage. But just take the time to step back and reflect and reset. And we did that yesterday. So here we are today.
Thank you.
Good
so much
for
doing
you.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good for you. That's beautiful. I'll say to Tony sometimes, I'm like, honey, I love you so much. I could choke you right now.
Right.
And I need
Yeah.
I need 10 minutes so that,
10?
sometimes I'll just take 10 minutes to just like go and catch my breath and wash my face. And I don't know why I always wash my face. I brush my teeth. I take a breath. I'll say a prayer. And then we have a practice, we'll come back to one another and either I or he will say, can we begin again?
Yes.
And we have a commitment that if one person says, can we begin again, that it's met with willingness by the other. And it's been such a great practice. And the amount of times that I've walked out of the room have not been my best self, have been, harsh or dramatic or unnecessary, whatever intensity.
Hormonal.
Yes, completely. But I think it's so beautiful in the containership of relationship when we do wake up, and we see ourselves to do what you just did, Ruvé. That's such a beautiful, it's beautiful. It's like, hey, can we get a room? Can we go play pickleball or can we go for a walk? Whatever it looks
That's
like.
right. Anything. Just us time. You need us time to rejuvenate, recalibrate everything.
I like to be an example. We like to be an example to our children. So we like to dance in the kitchen. We love to cook. I love to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're cooking. The house is always full. They see more than they
Mom,
hear.
Dad, stop dancing. That's gross.
Yeah. But they taking it in. But
We don't
they
care.
see. So
You gotta
whatever
do
they
it.
see, say
Yeah, right.
they take in. If you speak, it goes in one ear, out the other ear. So with us, it's about apologizing when you're in the wrong. It's about communicating. It's about celebrating. So we at home are we always say, I wish someone had a camera on the wall just to see how human we are. The laughter, the conflicts, the apologies, the fun, it's amazing. But I feel like as a father, Neal is an amazing example to his kids. He's home as much as he can be. He just got offered a TV show in New York. I'm like, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're going to miss this sport, that sport, this breakfast, this church event, this. And Neal's like, oh, okay. And because I know
It goes back to what's more important, money or family? What's more important,
you feed off the energy of your children.
Oh, yeah.
The wind beneath your wings with the kids. I think that Neal loves being a father more than anything else in the world and being present with his kids.
Husband first.
Husband.
Then father.
We talk about fatherhood.
But yeah, it all started early with our first son, our first child, Morgan. After a few weeks of Morgan being home as a newborn, you're kind of useless as a father because you don't have milk. They don't really want you. You smell different. And so I got to changing diapers. It became my thing, changing diapers. And for the first year of or 2 years, whatever the case is, I would always be, I got it. I want to change diapers because that was my time of bonding with the child. And at first they're like, well, who's this new thing? What that's hairy, smelly. What is that? That's not mom. And then as soon as you start making these goofy faces, this bond starts to happen. And it was through changing diapers, which sounds so silly. But that's, I think, why I'm so close to my kids as a dad, because I've been there since the beginning. I've been there coaching them in all their sports. I've been there as that ear to lean on, or sometimes, I'll maybe tell too many life lessons and try to coach them through all kinds of things. And maybe I do it too much, but I'd rather do it too much than too little, because those kids to us, they're everything. Our career is important, sure. The movies we make important, it's great. It ain't even close to how important it is, our kids and the relationship that we have with our children. And we have a pretty incredible relationship with our children. I'm laughing
because just as on our drive over here, our son called us from Monaco. He's there with our daughter who's studying. She's studying abroad. And he says, Dad, these yachts, this is insane. He's like, look at all these yachts. He goes, what do these people do? And Neal gave a whole life learning lesson to Morgan. Just be who you are. Just continue, on your path and who you want to be, and the yachts will come.
Don't aspire for stuff. Aspire to be the best version of yourself for him. And that's important.
They were all just looking up and wondering, like, where are they going? What are they doing? And Neal will sit and talk for hours and tell them stories and just say,
And Ruvé would be in the back like this.
No, I won't. No, I won't.
No, you won't.
I love, Ruvé, that you mentioned about an apology or saying sorry. Tony and I, we are so passionate, and I think that sometimes that gets missed as parents. We all miss perfect. As human beings. We all go blind, and I think that is such a powerful practice. And I just love all of what you're offering, because it's so applicable and so true. And what's crazy is we don't know one another, and yet there's such common patterns in the containership of our relationship. Who's the strict one out of the two of you?
Wait, but I want to go back to, yes, that's the thing, like the apologies and being human. Many parents try and be perfect examples to their children. But this day hasn't happened that we've had a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old. We've never been here. Tomorrow, we've never been there. So every day we're learning with them. We've never done this before, right? Like that book of what to expect when you're expecting. They didn't do the college book, what to expect when they go to college. So every day I'm like, well, our kids are in college, and two of them.
Crazy.
And we're learning every day. So we're making mistakes. As parents, we're making mistakes.
But that's how you learn.
Yeah.
You got to...
And we tell them, sorry, I thought this, or we did that, or I apologize, or tomorrow can we start over, or okay, come sit with me. We'll talk. Like, it's about learning together every single day. So that's what I say, apologize and just be human.
Yes.
And if you make a mistake, own up to it as quickly as you possibly can. Sorry, my
so
bad.
True.
That was dumb.
Okay,
Wrong
who's
advice.
the strict one? Let's go. This one, oh my gosh, melts with the three girls. Last night we were sitting at home.
What are you supposed to do?
I'm tired.
They're amazing girls.
The girls were like, Dad, can you take us to Yogurt Land? And I was like, sure. And off he goes at 10 o'clock at night. Anyone wants anything from Dad? And I also think it's because he's been gone quite a bit, not a lot, but when Neal's gone, he's gone on set. And I'm home with the kids. We fight who's driving the kids to school in the morning. I got it. No. We want to be with the kids. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So Neal's the soft teddy bear for sure. But Neal's the soft love, which is great. But he's there when he needs to be to really lay the law down.
So when I play all these tough guy characters, I'm not actually playing myself. I'm borrowing from Ruvé.
Oh, my mom?
Oh, your mom. Oh, my goodness.
No, me, no.
Yes. Well, Ruvé, we both meet in that as well.
Yes.
Tony's such a teddy bear. I'm like, what on earth? Where the heck is Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
That's right.
No, it's all off camera. When they're home, like Neal goes, "You're the villain. You're the meanest guy." I'm like, yeah, no. At home, he's tap dancing around the kitchen, like being silly, goofy faces, nonstop sarcasm and fun with the kids. And then he steps, on camera, and it's completely
Ever
different.
since I was back at
great.
Barnstable High School, I remember George Carlin listened to one of his albums. Said, if you're going to be anything in life, you darn well better start with being the class clown in your high school. And I was a sophomore in high school, and I took it to heart, and I said, okay, I'm going to be the class clown. And I was, and I am, and I'll never stop being the clown, whether it's in the family or whatever the case. Yeah, I play a lot of villains, but I figure out how to be funny in my villains too. But I'm a clown. That's who I am, and I'm very proud to be it.
That's cool. Why do you think, I was actually pondering this last night. Why do you feel that you've been cast as the villain so often?
Well, it's pretty easy. I won't kiss another woman on screen. So because of that, that's going to make me either a war hero in the middle of nowhere or the villain. And I didn't want to have a career of being the fourth or fifth guy on a call sheet. I wanted to be one of the top two guys. So if you're not going to be the hero, because you have to kiss the girl in the end or during the film, whatever the case is, then what's the second best part? Always the villain. So I said about 20 years ago when I did Walking Tall, I was like, okay, that works. I can do this for a long time. And I'd play lots of villains with different thoughts in my brain to make them all a bit different each time. But I wanted to be the best villain in the world, and that was my game plan. And by doing so, it allowed everyone in Hollywood to realize what a good actor I was, and they allowed us to start doing our own films where I finally get to be the hero. And I'm telling you, Sage, I'm having the time of my life that I get to write and create with my best friend and make these movies with Angel Studios and all the companies that we're working with. It's been this phenomenal, incredible, humbling. The further I get into this, the more humble I become, because I still am floored that God gave me this. God gave me the kids that I have, the career that I have, the family that I have, all of this stuff. And all I want to do is just keep giving back and show people you don't need the stuff. What you need is this. What you need is love, and you need, and that's.
We've been blessed.
So blessed.
So blessed. But I do want to say to all the actors out there, because Neal doesn't have Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Neal has no social media. I run Neal's social media. I try to do a good job with our daughter, Catherine. I'm Neal's manager.
Catherine's.
Neal got down on a knee like 4 years ago again and said, honey, will you manage me? And I had no idea what that meant. And I was like, what? No. I said, no, just like I did when you proposed. Just like we did when I asked you. I was like, no, not now. My nails aren't done. Wait, what? So when Neal asked me to manage him, and he's had incredible agents and managers and representatives throughout his career who we're friendly with. And I said, why me? And he said, honey, you believe in me more than anyone. You know me more than anyone. So as a manager, agent, wife, producing partner, publicist, everything that I am.
Best friend.
Blessed. I do want to say to everyone out in Hollywood, doesn't mean you don't have to kiss a girl. Every actor out there, go kiss the person. Kiss.
Ruvé actually had no problem with me kissing girls on screen. That's your job.
Like, that's your job. Go and do it. But Neal felt so devoted in love, like nobody else that I know in the industry, that he didn't want to disrespect God by being naked with a woman in a bed and making out with her, which is real. As much as it's acting, Neal felt like he was with this woman. He didn't like it, and he said he didn't want to put me in any situation that I didn't like it. So Neal, fortunately, like we say, he got crucified for 2.5 years and couldn't work. But Neal just felt for him, his love was stronger than anything else in the world, and just who he was. It didn't work for him. So everyone out there, when we read these social media comments, they're like, "You're an actor, just do what you're told." Sure.
That's why I don't read any of that stuff.
But Neal decided he didn't want to do what he was told. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, and that's put so much love into his family, his life, his faith. Everyone else can do that. So every actor, yes, kiss the person, do what you want. Neal can kill everyone because he's not truly killing them. And he loves
we're laughing on
killing
set when
everyone.
we're doing it.
I like that.
It's like, I'm horrible for making sound, bang, 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 and the director, but can you stop saying bang? Sorry. But it's fun time. It's just like you're back in the sandbox at elementary school, hanging out with your buddies playing, cops and robbers. And that's how I take it, and I enjoy it. But
and then you can come home and kiss the girl.
That's right. The best part. But a lot of it goes back to, when I was younger, before I moved out to Hollywood, and this isn't just to plug Tony, but, here I was, this kid from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, who didn't have any money, whose parents owned this small mom and pop motel, and didn't know anybody in Hollywood. I didn't know how I was going to get to, how do I become an actor in Hollywood? And I borrowed my brother Kier's Tony Robbins tapes, because he would listen to him at nighttime. I'm like, what's it? And Kier has gone on to become a very, very successful hedge fund guy. And I started listening to the tapes, and listening to him. And a couple of tapes I would just listen to over and over. When I was driving across country to Hollywood for the first time, I'm listening to Tony's tapes. I only had 2 of them, but I kept listening to those 2 tapes over and over again about positive thinking. Everything is possible. Positive thinking. Everything is possible. You can do it. And those tapes, one of my best friends, my cousin, Liam Monahan and I, that's right, talk about Tony ad nauseum. For years, talk about the greatness of Tony's thought process. And if you have that thought process...
So you owe him 10%, by the way.
That's right, I owe Tony 10%. And Liam and I started our own little club, the CBB Club, and we have to hit these 10 things in our lives to really become really members of this club. But a lot of it stemmed from Tony's thought process. So you ask me who I am and why I am here today. There's a good chunk of that because of Tony's words that I listened to over and over and over again as a young actor about positive thinking. Because when you get out to Hollywood, there's going to be a bucket of negativity thrown at you. You don't look this, you don't sound like this, you don't have that, you're not the right thing. Next, cut, next. But as Ruvé says, a no is just a slow yes in the making. And Tony had the same thought process. So I have a positive thinking guru from way back when, molding my brain in certain ways. And the baton was handed off to Ruvé, who is a positive thinking guru in her own right. So those are the two things that, we that really shaped who Neal McDonough is to this day. And his faith, his journey, our faith, our journey, your faith, your journey, it all kind of works together. And that's why I am here today, because of the success of the words I listened to way back when and the coach that I have now.
Wow.
Thanks,
I'm moved. Coach. I'm moved. I've been with Tony for over 25 years, and it never gets old. Just hearing about the miracles of this, like this mothership of this man, this heart, this love, and all the tentacles of blessedness, his sincerity, his goodness, his decency, his conviction to and commitment to free himself in order to help free others. And he is that guy. He is that guy. People will be like, what's he at? He's that guy off stage. He's that guy at home. We'll be walking down the street, and the number one thing that people will come up and say is, Tony, you saved my marriage, or you saved my life. And he's always
awesome
like,
is that?
But I didn't do it. You did it. I just got to be
a tool.
I got to be a hand, and it's funny because so many people will be like, he's so intimidating, and he's the biggest, like you describe your man. Tony's the biggest love, and he's just a really generous spirit, and he's the real deal. And we have so grown together as well. We have the privilege to be able to work together, serve together, create together, produce together, write together. Mm-hmm. It's just been, we've grown up together, and, he continues to be not only, my love, but just a really dear friend. And I think that's also what's so amazing is you can laugh about it. You can say, hun, I love you. I want to choke you out right now, and crack each other up in the middle of, you know what I mean?
Right.
A misunderstanding or a miscommunication, but the gift to come back home. And people will always say like, oh, you're married to Tony Robbins. And I'm like, yes. And we're human. We're human beings just like you, going through life stuff, going through life's journey, going through life and death. And my mama's navigating dementia right now. And, life never stops, this growth and, being humbled, being humbled.
Well, Tony's there for those, because we were saying where the love, how you learn to love comes from parents. I believe they instill that. But those people who don't have their parents who loved, they came from broken homes, they came from poverty. I come from a divorced family, very poor family, lived on a farm in Africa. But there's Tony Robbins for those people. There's the optimism. There's that, because not everyone is given the gift of a husband and wife, mother and father at home, present at every game, being there for you at every graduation, every whatever it is. They don't have that. So how can they pursue and know that they're loved and stay positive? Well, there's the Tony Robbins, everybody.
That's right.
Growing up in South Africa on a farm with divorced parents, I left home when I was 18, and I just stayed positive and just said, when you've got this, you can only go forward. You can only move forward. And even if you fall, you're still moving forward. And it's like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And that's the optimism which Tony Robbins instills in many, many people, to just keep the course and believe in yourself and stay positive.
That's right.
True.
And behind every successful man is
a great woman.
A great woman,
Wow.
Sage.
Well, he's easy to love.
Yeah.
He's easy to love.
All right.
And I am that. We, like you, were just to, create together and work together. It's so real. Like, it's so real, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's interesting, Ruvé, you mentioned about Tony. He had 5 fathers. He came from...
I didn't know there were 5.
Yes. What most people would perceive to be a very dysfunctional home. And
Wow.
he was up early the other day, and I woke up our daughter, and she wasn't feeling well, and she was on my lap, and I was telling her a story, and he was moved. He had tears in his eyes, and it's just so beautiful. I love that you've said this, because he said, like, I never experienced that. I never experienced like a mother to come in and hold me, or, he was mothering her really from the time he was like 5 years old. And I think it's beautiful what we as human beings have the capacity to do through pain. Love heals our wounds, and it heals our traumas if we're willing to get over ourselves. And he is certainly an example of that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes.
He might be popping in. Did you send him a message? Okay, he's good. He might have his black glasses on, but he's going to pop in.
But you know what? I wanted to talk about as well, the mind being the strongest muscle. And we all know that. The mind is the strongest muscle in the body. If you believe you can achieve. The heart needs to be pure if you have the right intentions. And then the body is a temple. You need to have a healthy body. So with all these things that Neal speaks about, and I think there was some Father's Day stuff coming in that we didn't talk about in a bit, about being the best father that you can be, is taking care of your temple.
Yeah.
Your body.
100%.
Sure.
Take care of your mind, your body. And,
Yes.
And so Neal and I, when he started doing this film, The Last Rodeo, which he wrote last year, and oh my gosh, that's another whole story. And I know you've seen that, Sage, right? The Last Rodeo? You've seen it 5
I have
times?
not, but I
Sage!
have to tell
All right,
you.
that's the end of the interview. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Take care. Thanks, Sage. Take cans out. Cans coming up.
Okay, so
I think I'm the only one that's never, the only woman that hasn't watched
that
Yellowstone.
one. Oh gosh. So The Last Rodeo is a movie Neal made, and it was so amazing. Last year we were in Texas for Father's Day with the family. And what Neal did is work so hard on his body. And this was a life-changing moment last year when he woke up every morning at 5 a.m., worked out with Scott St. John. We partnered with a company called Flip My Life, a protein powder, which
Changed
is
my life.
Cool.
I was
Flip
drinking
My Life.
Flip My Life. And it's so incredible.
Amazing.
Neal flipped his life. And so we want to talk to fathers out there about taking care of your body.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to have a beer, fine. If you're going to, I drink, I like my wine. But it's just taking care of yourself to get up every day and be there for others. And your mind's strong, your heart's pure, but your body's got to be healthy. So Flip My Life is another thing that we would love to gift people. I mean, I would love to give,
Amazing.
Well, talking to John Camarano, our partner, we loved Flip so much that we became partners in the company. And now it has become the fastest. There's a huge billboard now in Manhattan, which is awesome, with my big mug.
It's
saying,
really big because Neal's head's on it. It's huge. Yeah, Neal's a big
huge
head.
Irish head.
Flip My Life.
And it's America's fastest growing protein company. So it's been just taking off like crazy. The man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you for joining us. I know you're going through something.
I hope your eye is healing the best that it possibly can, Tony.
I'm so sorry I couldn't sit in on this, but I'm going to do the introduction for you guys
Oh, you're awesome.
later tonight. So
You're awesome.
thank you for taking the time. And
Of course.
really nice to meet you.
Of course.
Tony,
Such a
look at
pleasure.
this. Your
Oh,
100.
you're 100 billion meals.
That's what you're doing.
So we were talking about our company, Flip My Life, and we're part owners of the company. And talking to John Camarano, who's the other owner of the company, last night said, let's donate 1,000 bags of Flip just to start the ball rolling for this, because
that's fantastic.
anything
get
we can do
involved.
to give back to something like this, gosh, what you guys are doing is incredible. I mean, that's just incredible. And I saw the speech yesterday with Bobby Kennedy yesterday and talking about everything. It's just...
Yeah, what you're doing, man. Giving back
thank you
so
guys.
much.
Well, it sounds like what you're doing is amazing too. I'm just so want to put the spotlight on the two of you and just the relationship you have, and especially on Father's Day, I thought you're such an example of it. I know the cancel culture kind of tagged you at one point here, and the fact that you persisted and you've been so successful in spite of it all, and that more importantly, you never gave up what you value most, which is the woman whose hand you're holding.
That's right.
And you held a standard of that nature. It's inspiring. Most people would never hold to what really they value most. They give up what they value most for money or fame or attention, and you're the direct opposite. And you're also proof that it doesn't matter. You can still win the game. So that's really why we wanted to interview, besides just wanting to meet you personally. So
you're a living
I'm
testimony
sure Sage has
of
done a
that
great
as well.
job.
It's like
I'm
in
sitting
life,
out
the
on
more
There she is.
you can get so successful in life, and you can be bogged down with all the stuff, right? You can be bogged down with what's my next new thing, what's my cool thing that I'm going to buy to show off that I'm the guy or I'm the gal, whatever the case. Look how cool I am because I have this thing. What on this planet is cooler than what you guys have and what we have?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Money
Money can't buy it.
buy this.
But it takes work and love and understanding and compromise and everything. I mean, look at the smile on both you guys' faces when I talk about how amazing you guys are. It's the same thing,
I was going to say,
right?
maybe his glasses are more cool.
Sage, you
He's
walked
so
through
ridiculous.
fire when you first met Tony. I know that, right? You literally walked on fire, not through fire, when you first met. I remember you were like, you walked on the fire and you walked off. And then with your dyslexia, which Neal has as well, gave the wrong room number. Neal, when he met me, has such bad dyslexia, he wrote on a coaster, "Sarah, call me." And he gave me his number. I was like, oh, this guy's got the wrong girl. Didn't call him. And he traced me down. So we made our men hunt for us with your dyslexia and
That's
Neal's
right.
dyslexia.
Hey, it worked.
And it worked. God made it
We
happen.
did it, Tony. We did it.
Oh, we were guided. I think God guided. There's no
That's right.
question about that.
Absolutely.
I always say that, I've had the privilege of helping millions of people, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people, I guess, at this stage. But
Hundreds of
this is
millions.
my reward right here, with this relationship with
This is
this
it.
woman. So
Yes, that
was-
smile, those eyes, Sage. Yes, that's an amazing award. And
I also tell her that, I learned how to handle 15 to 20,000 people at a time for 12 hours a day so I can handle her for one day.
That's right. Exactly.
I know there's a
But
beast
I was
inside
saying
of
to
you,
Sage earlier,
Ruvé.
it was, she was asking me how I got to where I am, what was my guiding forces, and my guiding force in life, God is my guiding force. But on this planet, I have really had two guiding forces. I have my wife Ruvé, who's the ultimate positive thinker. You can do anything, Neal. Set your mind to it. You can do it. And earlier on, when I first moved out to Hollywood, is listening to your tapes way back when.
Wow.
It changed the way that I thought on so many levels. I had two tapes that I drove across country when I first came to Hollywood, and I listened to your tapes over and over and over because I knew once I got to Hollywood, I didn't know anybody. I'm a kid from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. What the heck? How am I going to break through this? And it was your mindset of you can do it. If you set your mind to it, everything is achievable. And when I go into auditions and I wouldn't get a part, I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to get the next one.
he has
That's fine.
a
I'm gonna get the next
TR
one.
tattoo on his left butt cheek.
That's right.
It doesn't stand for Tony Robbins, though. The truth. It stands for
Also
the
very
truth.
That's right.
But he likes to tell people it's Tony Robbins.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, we're going to barbecue tomorrow, Sage.
That's right.
Yeah, we're coming to your house.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really touched to hear that. For me, it's been the same. It's in God and this woman. Those are the two influences, and they're both. That's grace, right? Grace in
That's
your life.
grace.
But I think grace comes when you try to be a blessing in people's lives. I wear these silly hats all the time, and part of it is because it says on the side, "Be a
giving
blessing,"
back.
and underneath it says, "And you'll be blessed." That's every day. That's my prayer. Before I walk on stage, before I walk outside, it's like, okay, I want to be a blessing to anybody I meet today. And you guys are that, and that's why I want to shine the light on both of you. You're a blessing by your example. And there's no better teaching than real example. You can talk
right.
about something all day long. The reason I think you have the impact you have, and I know the reason we have the impact we have, is we live it. You can
Right.
feel the difference when someone talks about it versus they live it.
Well,
Yep. Amen.
we look
Thank
at our
you.
kids, and you're going to look at your 5-year-old daughter, and in years to come, you'll know how successful you are by how successful your kids are and how happy your kids are. And I guarantee you that I can't wait for 10 years from now to see your daughter and see how her thought process and how positive she is and all the great things, because you guys care so much about your family. You care about each other so much, and she's going to see the love that you guys have, and she'll be like, oh, I want what mom and dad have. And with us, with our kids, how many of our kids want to be in the movie industry? All 5 of our kids, we want to be. Really? You want to do what mom and dad do? Oh, okay, great. Then we must be doing something right. What a feeling of power that is.
Yep, they say
I wonder about, since it is Father's Day, is there any words that you want your children to hear on Father's Day from the two of you? Or any special
something
message
we
you
haven't
want to
told
put
them
out?
every
Because
single day?
whatever you're sharing your children, I think, will be valuable for other people's children as well.
Again, I think it's example. I think it's showing your kids how to be a good God-fearing American. That's for us. If we're doing the right things, always trying to go the extra yard to help other people that we don't even know. And when they see us do those things, that transcends any words. Words come in one ear and out the other. But once they see you doing great things, so my challenge to every dad out there is keep doing great things. Be greater today than you were yesterday. Be greater tomorrow than you were today. And if you always have that thought process, everything is possible for your children to have success in their own lives.
I think for Father's Day, Neal would love our children to stay off social media because that is affecting them. Every child today, I just want them to be...
And Ruvé is amazing at limiting their social media.
If you say, what message do you want to give our kids for Father's Day? It's be yourself. Be the way God and we created and made you. They look at that every day. We have 3 girls and 2 boys, and they just feel they're worthless. They're not like that. They don't have that. So for Father's Day, for me, I feel like the children just stay off social media and realize that your father and mother and God have made you the way you're supposed to be. You don't have to compare yourself with others, which eats them up every day.
Every time. You can see them after 10, 15 minutes on social media, their energy just changes.
Yep.
Like, get off.
It's so crazy.
Let's go shoot some hoops. Let's go outside and let's go do something.
What
let's
do
go
you
for a
say
bike
about
ride.
social media, Tony and Sage?
I just saw, was it the UK or Australia that just limited 16 years old? I celebrated that. I thought this is a minimum. But I think we, in addition, besides trying to limit it, I think what we really have to do is we've got to put out messages in the same environment where these kids are learning and living, because unfortunately that's where kids get their news today.
Yeah.
TikTok. I mean, they get their idea of what the world's about from TikTok.
You're right. It's the news. It's the TikTok. It's great, but we got to use it the right way. Like everything in life, there's the devil there trying to catch you, and then there's the goodness. But
I love the idea of limiting it as much as you can, but I also know that the kids are, the more you try to limit it, then they're going to still try and do it as well, right?
Yes,
So it's
exactly. Don't do that. Why? Am I going to see what that means? Why can't I do it?
My kids ask me for the screen time password, and they make me stand in front of a window or mirror, and I'm like, you little rubbish, and they can see the screen time password. They're trying to figure out a way.
At least they're clever.
Yeah, they're clever.
Very proud of them.
But anyway, I think the two of, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say, I think what the two of you have conveyed and portrayed is that self-worth. It's an inside-out job. And it's, by, surrendering our lives to something more than ourselves and serving something more than ourselves, and knowing that it's who we are in, our actions and in our words that really shapes our lives. And you two are such a phenomenal demonstration of that, truly.
Thank you. Yes, you're
Ruvé,
right.
I love, you're lovely. And you're beautiful and
beautiful energy you can
and
feel.
you're a beast.
We're gonna cause trouble together.
And I can say that from one to
I am a lucky
another woman. It's beautiful. You guys are really, really lovely. What a privilege. And we'll definitely check out
The Last
Flip Your Life.
Rodeo.
The Last Rodeo, yeah.
And Flip My Life. Oh, you got a lot to do, Sage. You got a lot of homework to do. Yeah. Get with it.
I'm guessing I would love to try your protein. That sounds phenomenal.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll watch The Last Rodeo together.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
And I think
love you guys. Thank you. What an honor.
Really is such an honor.
Just
Well,
amplifying.
sometime you got to come. Have you ever been to an event? I don't think you have you?
I've never been to an event. Never been to
Oh
one.
my gosh.
I've wanted to go for so long. But it's, again, with 5 kids, if I'm not on set, I'm coaching the kids.
We'll bring the kids.
I
We'll bring
understand.
them.
Well, if you ever get the
I'll bring
opening,
the kids.
bring
The kids
them.
are old enough
Bring
now.
them.
Yeah.
We're doing an event in November in Miami. And if you bring them, be our guests. We'll have about 15,000 people. You'll be left alone. There are lots of celebrities there and so forth for this marketing area. But I'm telling you, there's nothing like it.
Incredible.
Anything you've gotten from tapes. I mean, it'll blow your
gosh.
mind, and I'd love to give that to you as a gift for the two of you and your family, if it's
would love
possible.
it.
So
Thank
just
you.
know it's an
Thank you.
invitation, not an expectation. But if you can, we'd love to have you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sage. What
It
a
would be an
pleasure.
honor.
Let's keep
Such a
this
blessing
going.
to meet you.
Yeah.
It's such
blessings
a gift.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy
Yes,
Father's Day.
happy
Thank
Father's
you. Happy
Day.
Father's Day.
And for all you men out there who are tuning in, know that your presence makes a difference and your love is so needed. And we thank you for being a gift in all of our lives and in our families. God bless you guys.
God bless
it's a
you
privilege
guys.
to be
Thank
with
you.
you.
Thank you.